Matt Roloff had always been a fighter. His life was a testament to perseverance. Despite physical challenges, failed marriages, and endless business struggles, he kept pushing forward. Roloff Farms, with its iconic pumpkin season, was more than a business. It was a legacy. In recent years, Matt had found companionship in Caryn Chandler, a woman who had once been his farm manager. Their relationship bloomed slowly, and after his divorce from Amy, Caryn seemed like the partner who could bring him stability. She was attentive, organized, and claimed to love him deeply. Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. For Roloff family latest news update, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. To the outside world, they were inseparable. Caryn walked beside Matt at every farm event, smiled at family gatherings, and even spoke openly about marriage in interviews. Fans of Little People, Big World believed Matt had finally found peace. But behind those warm smiles, Caryn carried a secret. A dangerous one. The secret lover. Caryn's life hadn't always revolved around Matt. Long before she entered the Roloff world, she had been romantically involved with Daniel Price, a wealthy land developer in Oregon. Their relationship was intense but stormy, filled with passion and betrayal. Daniel was ambitious, greedy, and manipulative, qualities Caryn should have run from, but instead, she found herself addicted to. Even as she began dating Matt, Caryn never fully let go of Daniel. He remained in the background, a shadow figure who whispered promises of wealth and freedom. Text messages, secret meetings, and late-night phone calls tied them together. "Be patient," Daniel would tell her. "One day, everything Matt owns could be ours." At first, Caryn dismissed the thought as cruel fantasy. But as the years went by, and she grew tired of Matt's health issues, his slow decision-making, and the endless Roloff family drama, Daniel's words began to sink in. She started to imagine a different life, a life where she wasn't tied to Matt's medical needs, his ex-wife's shadow, or the complicated dynamic with his children. A life of wealth, status, and excitement. And Daniel was ready to give her that life. Planting the seeds of betrayal. The plan began subtly. Caryn encouraged Matt to put more of his property and assets in her name. "Matt, you work so hard. You need to rest," she'd coo. "Let me help manage the paperwork. You can trust me." Matt, blinded by love and weary from years of physical strain, agreed. He signed documents she presented, often without reading them closely. Caryn reassured him it was just for convenience. What Matt didn't realize was that Caryn had partnered with Daniel, who, as a real estate developer, knew exactly how to manipulate contracts and deeds. Slowly, portions of Roloff Farms, investment accounts, and even Matt's personal savings were being redirected. By the time Matt grew suspicious, it was already too late. The marriage that shattered everything. In the spring, Matt decided he wanted to make their relationship official. Despite family tensions, he proposed to Caryn with a simple diamond ring. Caryn smiled, said yes, and pretended to be overjoyed. But in truth, she already had a different wedding planned, one Matt would never attend. Weeks later, while Matt thought they were planning a private ceremony, Caryn secretly flew to Las Vegas with Daniel. In a quiet chapel off the Strip, she married her true love, sealing the betrayal with vows Matt would never hear. Daniel laughed as they walked out of the chapel, holding hands. "He has no idea, does he?" Caryn shook her head. "Not a clue. By the time he finds out, everything will be gone." The discovery. It wasn't long before Matt noticed the cracks. Bank accounts he thought were full suddenly had missing funds. Letters from lawyers began arriving, filled with jargon he didn't understand. Finally, he confronted Caryn one evening on the farm porch. "Caryn, what's going on? Why are my accounts missing money? Why is the property paperwork different from what I signed?" Caryn avoided his gaze. "Matt, you're imagining things. You've been stressed. Let me handle it." But Matt wasn't convinced. With help from a friend, he hired a private investigator. What came back shattered his world. Photos of Caryn and Daniel together. Copies of marriage records from Las Vegas. Evidence of property transfers that gave Daniel partial ownership of Roloff Farms. Matt felt the ground beneath him collapse. The woman he trusted, the woman he thought loved him, had not only betrayed him but stolen his life's work. The confrontation. When Matt finally confronted Caryn with the evidence, she didn't deny it. "Yes, Matt," she said coldly. "I married Daniel. He gives me what you never could. Passion, wealth, freedom. You're just a chapter in my life I'm ready to close. You stole from me." Matt's voice cracked, filled with rage and heartbreak.
"No," she smirked.
"I simply took what you were too weak to protect." Those words cut deeper than any blade. Matt realized he had been used, manipulated, and discarded. Caryn and Daniel now controlled large portions of his property, and legally, his options were limited. The fallout. News of the betrayal spread quickly. Tabloids picked up the story, and soon little people, big world fans, were in shock. "Caryn married someone else?" Headlines screamed. "Roloff farm stolen in property scandal." Matt's children were divided. Zach expressed fury, calling Caryn a snake. Jeremy urged his father to fight back legally. Molly and Jacob were heartbroken to see their dad humiliated. Amy, though divorced from Matt, felt pity for him, admitting in an interview that no one deserves this kind of betrayal. Meanwhile, Caryn and Daniel flaunted their new life. They posed for photos in luxury cars, dined at expensive restaurants, and posted cryptic messages online about new beginnings. Matt, however, withdrew. Alone on what little remained of his farm, he felt stripped of everything: his love, his legacy, his dignity. Writing him off. Perhaps the cruelest blow came months later. Caryn filed legal documents formally cutting Matt out of several shared accounts and business entities. In the paperwork, she described him as incompetent to manage assets due to his health issues. She didn't just leave him, she erased him. Matt read the papers in disbelief. The woman he trusted had not only stolen from him but was now rewriting the narrative of his life, painting him as incapable. It was betrayal in its purest form, the rise from the ashes. But Matt was not a man who stayed down forever. Though broken, he began to rebuild. With support from his kids, especially Zach and Jeremy, he started small projects on the portion of land he still owned. In interviews, he spoke softly but firmly. "They can take my money. They can take the farm. But they'll never take my spirit." Loyal fans rallied behind him. Strangers donated to support his rebuilding efforts. And slowly, Matt began to rise, not as the victim of betrayal, but as a survivor who would not let Caryn's treachery define him.